Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Those Guys You Hate Mini-Sesh edition. Tyler,
Mini-Sesh.
how are you, brother? What's going on?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. I've had an early morning. I've had a productive morning. I'm ready to get this over with so I can stop being productive.
Yeah. Genuinely, how do you feel? Tyler had to wake up this morning to fulfill some obligations for a job. How do you feel waking up and getting out way earlier than you normally do?
Well, it was a mixture of two main feelings where it was, hey, I'm productive. I'm having coffee at a time when people are normally supposed to have coffee instead of like 11:30 for lunch.
Lunch coffee.
And a little lunch coffee. Mwah. So I'm being productive. I'm out in the morning. I'm doing some genuine work. And just like we were talking about on last week's episode, that sense of accomplishment, I felt that. But at the same time, I was also feeling waking up at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
So it was a mixture of, wow, this is awesome. And over here was, wow, I want to stop doing this as quickly as possible.
In case you guys are wondering, Tyler, he works on a fishing boat off the coast of Alaska. It's a whole fucking deal. He looks great in that what's the Jacques Cousteau little wiener cap? What's that called? What do we call that?
I don't know.
All right.
You mean like the skull cap?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to make me look like the kid in the yellow raincoat on the front of the Salt.
No, I'm not making you the Gordon's fisherman, Tyler. I know we don't normally do this, but I'm going to need to do it just this one time on the mini-sesh.
Book.
This week, I'm reviewing Grand Theft Auto 5. Okay. Listen, there's a long backstory to why I don't play video games because I'm very addictive. And this is video games nowadays is the upper echelon of drogas, Tyler.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking
Yes.
about? Explain what I'm saying to the audience because people are like, what do you mean?
About drugs? Well, they're fantastic.
Okay, I'm going to pull it back. I'm going to pull it back. Well, I'm saying that the way that video games are designed now, they are so all inclusive when it comes to your senses. It hits all the boxes and makes you want to play 26 hours a day. Is that true?
Absolutely. It's very much like, look at movies now. They have almost like, in so many cases, perfected the art of storytelling where they have become so grand and so big. These video games now are like literal universes in which you can live this life. It's very, very it's crazy.
Well, I would say even more than that. It is more, instead of like movies, I think it's more like social media in terms of there are these like hits of dopamine that you're getting from these games where it's like you're itching to get back because you got to go kill this prostitute in the alley. It's not going to do itself. That's just suicide. That's not homicide, Tyler.
Absolutely. And I mean, I get a little virtual practice for future endeavors.
Yeah, just try it out a little bit. Now, I know I'm way behind because I know this game came out 10 years ago. I finally downloaded it and just started playing it and really enjoyed myself. It is, like you said, immersive as all get out. I just wanted to share very quickly my 4 favorite so far. I mean, I've been playing it for like 2 days. My 4 favorite advertisements that I've seen in the game. Like you said, it's a whole world, and Grand Theft Auto is basically like a parallel universe Bob's Burgers when it comes to the funny advertisements.
A lot of parodies, a lot of puns.
A lot of wordplay.
Yes.
Right.
A lot of really good writers at that studio.
Absolutely. And it stands to reason why it takes them so long to make something because they're inventing a universe. Literally.
Yeah. Well, right now, a lot of people are angry at them. It's not, the game isn't,
Don't bore me with your nerd talk, Tyler.
It's because of all the money that they make on online games. Now, because of the stuff that we were talking about, that addiction.
Sure.
Now, because of loot boxes, loot crates, all these things, it's ostensibly gambling for children.
Well, you guys made me spend my money. I'll sue you, casino.
We're talking about children.
Fuck them, bro. That's it. What are children other than little adults, Tyler?
Little banks.
So here we go. I have, and this is just me cruising around in my Rolls Royce that I snapped some guy's neck to get. There was a clothing line, and maybe this won't be funny for people who haven't played Grand Theft Auto before, called San Androgyny, which I really liked. And it was like 2 faces really, really nice.
That's pretty good.
There's a fashion line by Anorex.
Okay.
Which and again,
it's pretty good.
I've barely seen anything. There is a superhero in a toy box off in the background called the brown streak, which I'm just like, dude, it is such a tiny detail.
Yeah.
Now, my favorite is that I've seen so far is there is an athletic company that you just happen to walk by, and the name of it is Pro, Pro, and then Laps, LAPS. It's a running company called Prolapse. And I'm just like, brother,
that's excellent.
take me to your world. Take me to your world. I'll buy all your loot boxes and
Let
crates.
me intern, please.
Now, this week, I'm going to be telling the story. We brought it up on last week's episode. Was it 97? I think it was session 97.
Session 97.
You've got mail in your inbox in the backyard.
It's a long title.
Yeah, we had to cut it down. And I told the story about a kid who came into my bar and asked me, really, and now that I've had time to really shake this out inappropriately, and I think there may be legal recourse, to touch my belt buckle.
Yes, you did tell that story. I remember it was not where I saw it going. Like, you could have given me 1,000 guesses, would not have guessed that.
And here's the thing. I mean, a lot of people, just to recap, I'm running around, and this kid I've become real good. I mean, when I say good friends with, he comes in all the time. He knows my name. He knows a lot of the people's names there. He loves to hold court.
He stalks you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, good.
And
good. Everybody needs a healthy stalking in their life.
It's like a parrot. So this kid comes in, I'm running around, and it just makes him feel good to know everybody there. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
He knows the waitresses. He knows the people in the, hey, Owen, what's going on? Hey, Ryan. And he just constantly uses my name to let everybody around him know that he knows me
Well,
personally.
he's personable, he's gregarious, and maybe he sounds like maybe a little bit of a name dropper.
He's a sociopath, I think, maybe. AJ, get some help.
I mean, really, anybody could be a sociopath.
He listens to the show, which is worrisome.
Sociopath, how are you?
So in the middle of it, I have a custom belt buckle, I guess. I don't know. It has a steer's head on it, like raised up. He wanted to touch it. So I mentioned that I have kind of a funny story about that on this week's session.
Did he trip and graze your bulge?
No.
Oh.
No, directly. No, I'm not making this joke, Tyler. I
am.
I'm moving forward.
Okay.
Here. So I am going to tell the story of my son's, I don't even know what birthday it was, maybe his 8th birthday, somewhere around there. And in the weirdest way possible, that situation reminded me of another situation that I've been in. I don't know if you know this story or not.
Hit me.
So we're at a park. We're at Treetops Park, my favorite park where I used to go to skip school. That and Pembroke Lakes Mall. Those were my 2 school skipping spots.
It's about as close to a rainforest as you can get down here in Florida. Ryan's drowning.
Wow.
Cough right into the mic.
I'm on the wrong side. Dang.
Of history, of gender.
So that month, we're doing a Harry Potter party. And when I say we, I mean his mom did the whole fucking thing.
Sure.
I just show up
Sure.
and I think that I'm fun. I'm not good at throwing events, dude, especially back then.
No, it runs in the family.
So, and the reason that I even remember that is because she spent a lot of time decorating. It was an outdoor, what do they call that? They, there's a word for it. In the pavilion, okay? You rent a pavilion.
Sure.
They spent so much time elaborately setting these things up. And may I say here in the middle of my sentence, I think so much of this is just so you guys could flex on freaking Instagram. You spend dude, the kid doesn't even remember.
Of
course. You don't fucking know.
Of course.
You spent all this time picking out these colors, and it's very nice. But I mean, I just went to a baby shower that was so friggin' elaborate. You would think they were burying an army vet. It was so put together. It was like a quinceañera.
Everyone was saluting when we walked in. I don't know what was going on.
Maybe now that you say that, I think I may have wandered into the wrong spot. That's a good point that you're making. So we're there. And the reason that I remember is because the wind was going crazy. They spent all of this time decorating and things are flying off. You could tell everybody was really upset. I'm drinking a beer way too early. Nobody else is there yet.
No. In that situation, it is not way too early.
Ridiculous.
And that's kind of the universe, just everything coming together and saying, hey, no need for this.
Yeah.
Get it out of here.
Beat it. Enjoy the nature. Yep. You're literally in a beautiful place. Stop with the Harry Potter, streamers.
You are literally hanging dead trees to trees.
Yep. That's like feeding a cow a cheeseburger, Tyler.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So here's the thing. I'm very uncomfortable. Even now, I'm getting better, but I'm uncomfortable in those situations, especially with family of other people, and it's with my son's mom. So we're not together. So it's kind of an awkward situation already. I didn't realize at the time how awkward it actually was. So I'm drinking, right? You ever do that, Tyler? You ever use a little liquid social lubrication?
Liquid social lubrication?
Sure. You don't want to use a solid lubrication, Tyler. Very painful.
I like to rub it on
the extremities.
Yeah, absolutely. You're in an uncomfortable situation. You maybe, in a sense, don't want to be there. I know I've been there.
Yep.
By not wanting to be there and wanting to get a couple drinks in you so that, you are able to accept the situation a little bit easier.
No, you're right. And the thing is, what you're saying, it's a weird tipping point because it's just like how when you're growing up, you always want to be older. And then when you get older, you always want to be younger. There is never this perfect spot where you're like, you know what? I'm the perfect age today.
Yeah,
this is great. You're always on one side or the other. Same with drinking. You're always like, hey, let me get a little bit. I need a little bit more. This feels good. But imagine what one more would feel like. And then you're like, oh no. Oh no. So
now I need one less.
Now I'm going to go make myself purge in this bush. I'm going to use this Harry Potter wand. So
Wingardium Leviosa.
Pukiosa. So I've had a couple. I need to use the lavatory, Tyler. Now, out there in this public park, they have a bathroom pavilion, right? So you're sharing that. It's not like you have your own little personal bathroom. You're sharing the bathroom with the whole park. You know what I mean? And they're spread out throughout the park, but you funnel people down. You don't have a toilet per person, Tyler. Is that shocking?
Yeah, to me, that's definitely shocking. Yes.
You know what? In a national park, if there are trees, there are peas. You know what I'm saying?
No. For me, the idea of, going to the bathroom in public is very difficult for me. So,
And this leads me down another trail.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my question to you. You've obviously peed outside, yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, if you're sober and you walk up to a tree, is that something that would be hard for you? Is it the people being around you that makes you uncomfortable?
If I'm alone in a field somewhere, man, I could strip naked and just, go in circles while peeing.
That would be unnecessary. I mean,
it would be kind of fun,
Get it on your face, Tyler. Also,
putting a lot of confidence in my peeing abilities.
Now, here's my second question. Have you ever pooped outside?
No.
Never in your life?
No.
Wow, you're a sheltered young man.
No, I'm a house cat.
Are you going to ask me?
No. You're what are you?
No, are you going to ask me if I pooped outside?
You've definitely pooped outside.
It's none of your business. No, of course I pooped outside, man. I've gone camping.
Because you're a man.
I am a man. So I digress. This one's going to be terrible. Honestly. Pull this out right here because I'm not going to be here while you edit. Pull me saying that's going to be terrible out. So I go into this bathroom that we're sharing with the whole park, and there is a father in there, okay? The father is in there with a kid. I'm bad at this. I don't know exactly how old they are. You've got a really young one, and you've got maybe one who's like 5 years old. Okay. The father is helping the
toddler,
the older one.
Okay, gotcha.
Use the urinal, okay? Now, I come in, and he sees me, and all of a sudden he goes into this like protection mode. Like now the kid, as little kids are wont to do when they go to use the urinal, he's pulled his pants all the way down to his ankles.
You're doing it wrong. Be a good dad and tell him what he's doing wrong.
Tyler, you could not be more right. You're teaching your kids the wrong thing. Why are you teaching them that?
And look, I'm not going to put any guarantees behind it, but I can only assume if you're allowing them to do that, you're kind of upping their chances that they're going to get molested. I mean, come on. You can't be advertising like that. I don't give a shit what age you're at.
You brought this on yourself. I remember one time I was working at a bar and I went into the bathroom, and I'm walking by the stalls and one of the stalls is open and it's a grown-ass man peeing with his shorts down to his lower thighs.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man, it was fucking so... I wondered if the guy was just fucking with people. I wonder if he was just hammered and he's like, this would be really funny. Or if that's just how he pees.
You have to shout out, do you not have a father to teach you better?
Oh, you're looking good, my friend. So... this guy now, instead of teaching his son how to pee properly, I will admit there's probably a good chance the kid's gonna pee all over his pants. Maybe that's what it is. Like hey, you're not ready for this level of peeing yet.
The idea that you've told this story so many times that you've considered every angle possible.
Tyler, you've known me for a while. Buddy. So now he's just shielding his son's naked ass, which is what shorts are for, by the way.
Yeah.
And now while he's doing this, the younger one, who's maybe about 3 years old, is running around crazy behind him. He's doing this, doing that. So the father is doing this thing where he's shielding the naked hiney, but he's also grabbing the little kid. He's kind of shifting back and forth. Now, I'm immediately uncomfortable, okay? But I've had a couple of cervezas. I've got to use the bathroom.
That's beer.
I'm not doing anything wrong here. I'm just going to use the urinal, and I'm going to get out of here. Okay?
Yeah, it's his behavior that's giving you that feeling that you're even doing something wrong. Like, dude, I'm in here to pee. What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? These better be your kids, dude. I'm going to find out.
Yeah, you think he's protecting him? Like, hey, I was here first.
So, but I'm like, fuck it. We're all good here, I guess. So I go to the bathroom. There's only 2 stalls, or excuse me. There's only 2 urinals. Okay. So he's on the little short one. Hey, I'm a grown up. I can do this.
Why would you not go to a stall?
I don't know. I didn't want to act like I was guilty, Tyler. I don't want to act like I had something to hide.
Like you say, always get a lawyer, always use a stall in that situation.
But it's the same way that I feel like I could joke around about race because I know that I'm not racist. I feel like I could pee wherever I want because I'm not looking at your kids, bro. So I'm trying to get into the zone. It's all right, Ryan. We got this, okay? So I'm peeing. Now, this guy is protecting what I assume to be his boy, and he's protecting him, but he has to, and there was somebody Spanish. It was a Spanish name. This was a while ago, but so he goes back and he grabs the boy, okay? And he's like, stop, whatever. Now he realized the naked hiney is unprotected, so he goes back into shield mode, okay? So he stops up. So this goes on for a little while. I am using the urinal and I'm just thinking, this is unholy what's happening to me right now. There's so much stress on me. This is more than a drunk father should have to deal with.
Your Kegel muscles in that moment must have just been so super tight.
I think I got a hernia at
I
that
don't
moment.
blame you.
So to wrap this up, I am peeing and finally the 3-year-old, the little kid who's running around, he finally does it. He breaks free, bro. He's gone. He runs out the front door because it's just a little tiny room. You know what I'm talking about? A little cement room. Everybody's been in one of those park bathrooms before.
He's getting away from his assailant. Good on you, sir. Escape.
Send help. There's 2 men in here.
Run, Lassie, run.
I know one's bad and I'm pretty sure about the other one. So he runs off and the dad, without thinking, just chases the kid out the door.
No, the hiney. You're forgetting the hiney.
I can't be trusted. So now I am peeing next to a little kid with no pants on.
Are you back to back like one of those buddy cop movies?
No, I'm not, it's not a Batman and Robin, Tyler. And what I forgot to tell you is I have also, because I'm so caught up in everything that's happening, I have also pulled my pants down to my knees. Laughing in the mic. That's gold, Tyler. That's gold.
I don't want to. This is gonna be.
We need that.
This is gonna be held up in court one day.
Well,
Your Honor, we found him.
I'm just kidding. I was peeing like a regular human. I have a dad. Thank you. So I'm peeing,
man,
and it's just now my eyes have got to be the size of dinner plates.
Absolutely,
now it has washed over me what has just transpired, and so I am now standing next to this little kid who is 3/4 undressed.
I feel the discomfort
now, and this part is going to sound fake, but it is 100% true. Okay, the little kid who is less than a foot from me. Have you heard this story before?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
My memory's been jogged.
So he turns to me. At this point, his pants are around his ankles with all of everything that's going on back and forth. It is, I don't know what happened.
He committed.
He committed.
He is committed.
That's like, have you ever had to poop so bad you just took all your clothes off?
Oh man, that's like, we can get into that later. That's
different,
the best scenario.
Different mini-sesh.
Best scenario.
And my work has asked me to stop doing that. So this kid turns to me. And when I say turns to me, his head's at crotch level, Tyler.
You're the adult in the room.
He turns. I had actually been transported back to a much younger, much more trauma-induced childlike place. He turns to me, he takes his hands and puts them above his head, straight, which brings his shirt up a little bit. Much like
he's on a roller coaster.
No, like a gymnast. You know when the gymnast lands from the parallel bars, lands and puts her head straight up?
That's right.
And he goes, "I'm done." And Tyler, I swear on all that is holy. And I don't think I'm still peeing at this point, but I'm frozen in pure terror. And I don't look at him. I don't do anything. And it's quiet in there. And again, he goes, "I'm done." And finally the dad runs back in the room and I'm like, this isn't what it looks like. He's coming on to me. No, that's really true. I don't remember how the whole thing happened, but dude, I was mortified. I was mortified, and I've told that story to a bunch of different people, and every now and then, much like I'm starting to get, "I love you, mommy," every now and then somebody goes, "I'm done."
Yep.
And that was that son of a bitch, my son's trauma-inducing birthday. I've never gotten over it. If that kid is listening, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Okay. I don't sign off on that.
Yeah.
But I will say, at least you've learned your lesson as to A, never throw birthday parties for your son ever again.
Oh, I learned my lesson that year.
Or B, just stop going to the bathroom.
Okay. That one actually seems more feasible for my lifestyle. And that's
way
it.
ahead of you, buddy.
And that's it, Tyler. That is, I don't know what we're going to call this one, but what about that time that Ryan saw a little kid's wiener?
That will get immediately flagged.
And then parenthetically, context inside.
We'll workshop it.
Well, we're just,
we'll work it out.
listen, there's no wrong answers in brainstorming. You know what I mean?
There's some wrong answers.
Except for that one. That was the first one. I hope that this was okay. I'm honestly super self-conscious because I know my brain is all over the place. And now that more people are listening, and I know I have to fix this, I'm putting more pressure on myself. And I shouldn't. I mean, these things are just little time capsules between us, but I want for people to enjoy them. I truly
they're
do.
not between us. They're out to the world.
They certainly are. And like I said, more people are listening, but the way this got started and hopefully what people like is it's the way that you and I talk. But when I don't have full use of my facilities, it bothers me.
Then it's Tyler time, baby.
A little TT, which is what our mom used to call peeing when we were little kids. Remember that?
I do.
Make TT.
I do. You think that all the little different really baby names she gave to those things, did you think that fucked us up in any way, shape, or form?
I mean,
amongst all the other things that
I
we're
was
done.
going to say, we can assign it to whatever you want. I do know we're fucked up. I don't know.
Give me a percentage.
If the means justify the end. But
if this was a pie chart, how big of a slice am I getting?
I mean, we're in decibel points. Tyler, great job this week, brother. I love you. Appreciate you hanging in there with me. And we are those guys you hate.
Be kind or we'll kill you.
They would equal. You got to tap on the phone to find the rest. They want those.
Where's your phone, damn it?
They want those.
I need to know.
They want their lights, dog.
Give it to them. I'm like a crack addict.
They got me like a puppet over here.
I mean,
my life is ruled
me?
by the facts app. If all of the asteroids from the main asteroid belt were combined, what's the main asteroid belt? That's just
I don't know. We can review.
This is the segment of the show where I ask you things you don't know.
Yeah.
They would equal a total mass smaller than Earth's moon. That's not interesting at all. That's not why would that be interesting? And you know what? Sometimes I read some of these and I'm like, I don't know if that's true or not. How would I ever know if that's true?
Oh, that's why normally, or at least we used to believe the professionals. We used to believe the geniuses when it came to this stuff.
Well, they have been replaced by the Facts app, Tyler.
Well, it's going to happen to all of us.
What's going on with you, buddy? How are you?
Not necessarily the Facts app. That would be weird. You know, then we would all just be part of one singular entity. And, Futurama already had a movie on that. Ryan, I got a fun fact for you, universe-wise. If you took all of our planets and put them between the moon and us, there would still be room.
Okay.
Jupiter, Saturn,
Sure.
I'm counting Pluto, Mercury, every other planet in our solar system, and put them between Earth and the moon.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the planets.
It would fit comfortably.
Okay, cool.
You're a piece of shit.
I mean, I don't know how to respond to that.
Whoa, Tyler, that's amazing.
It's actually not that amazing.
Shut up.
How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great.
You know what? Actually, now I'm thinking about it. That is kind of shocking.
No, the moment's over. The moment is over.
From here to the moon?
From here to the moon, Alice.
That's crazy, man. I feel like I'm gonna pass out. So I'm not prepared for this one at all.
Yeah, you're out of energy.
I am out of energy. I've had a crazy couple of days. And what I've realized, much like the princess and the pea, I am very dependent on sleep. I use a lot of mental energy. And when my brain isn't firing at high function, I really notice it.
Well,
in my old age,
being a part of a conversation requires energy. It really does. You got to focus. And when you're doing stuff like this, you're putting a lot of energy out.
And I'm just talking about in my regular day. I'm not even talking about
I'm
this.
talking about how important we are. Right?
I'm just talking about my standard defense mechanism where I'm trying to shoot, rockets out my ass. And, there's just like sound effects and all the smoke and mirrors.
Now I'm picturing Wile E. Coyote.
So you don't notice that I'm morally bankrupt. How has your last couple of days been, bud? How is things? How are tricks, kid?
Great. I had a friend's
giving
Secret Santa over the weekend.
Oh, okay.
And had a great time. You
Sure.
didn't come because you're, party pooper.
Yeah. I needed a night off of drinking,
Of
man.
course.
Like I have now cut down. I don't know who's interested in this at all. I'm the one telling the story and I'm falling asleep. I have cut down one night from work, which has really helped me balance out my, the way that I'm living. I'm just trying to cut down on the consecutive nights that I'll have a drink. You know what I mean?
I'm going to speak for the audience. Nobody finds this conversation
You're very right.
Yeah.
You're very right. My doctor would be kicking me out right now.
Diagnosis? This sucks.
I had a guy come into the bar last night who had a friend, what's that called?
Giving?
Can you call it a white rhino swap or has that been canceled?
Why would it be canceled?
Because you can't say white anymore. You can't be white. You can't say man.
You are the only one saying this.
I just want to be careful. I don't want to offend anybody.
You're on the verge of going against being white.
I am out there as being against the white population and everything that they stand for.
This is so going to bite us in the ass one day.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I'm apologizing to everybody up front. I'm not 100% there.
You're just waiting until...
I haven't meditated at all today.
Sure.
I mean it, man.
Oh, you mean about your performance and not your against whiteness.
Well, that's
I figured you were just getting on board for the eventuality of when Native Americans retake over their country.
Okay.
You want to be...
I don't know what you're doing.
You want to be on their side.
Well, I am on their side. No joke.
That's what I was doing.
Just to give you an example, right now, you and I were talking about this whole thing, and I have this whole shtick that I go into where I'm anti-white people, much like the shtick of I'm anti-victims' families. And as I was going through...
Please use a different example.
In my mind, the energy that it would take to go into that joke, I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't even care.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
This is going to be
That's where I am,
a
dude.
doozy of a show.
I know. I apologize to everybody up front for this.